Loading snacks.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Your boys are back for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler Boys!
Yes, and we are here to discuss Andor episode 8. I believe the title is Narkia 5, if I'm correct. So, y'all know where we like to start this by now. Y'all been with us long enough to know. So, I'm going to start with jokes. Where are you placing this episode at? What do you rank it?
I am at a 7 on this episode.
Okay, a 7. All right. What about you, Gage?
I think I'm at about the same. I think I'm at a 7.
Okay. I'm about at where I've stayed steady with a 6 with it for the same reasons that I have, stated before. So let's just jump right in and start walking the path of what happens in this episode. We open this with Andor is being transported away after the last episode. He has been locked up after the stuff he's done that they don't know he's done, and they are transporting him away to prison, if you will, to go spend his 6 years. Along with they're kind of mirroring what's going on with Cyril being taken in for questioning. How do y'all feel about the way this opened up?
I kind of felt, obviously, Andor going to jail is where, we all I feel like we thought it was going to go to. But I think the parallel in showing the two of them kind of almost about to be in the same place is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say coincidental, but it's like they did the big deed. Technically, she helped him a little bit to get away or whatnot ever, and they're trying to find out. But they're both about to suffer for everything that's unfold, even though necessarily they're not in trouble for those specific things technically just yet.
Yeah.
I think that the way it opens is par for the course. It makes sense. Clearly, the way the last one ended, he's being taken away. All right, show us what that means. Where we going? Whatever. I don't know. It feels typical. Like I don't think there's anything particularly special about it. I think they do a very good job of making it clear that they want their prisoners as lost as possible. They don't really want them to have any idea of where they're going, what they're doing. Like, it really is basically like they're going to a concentration camp. Like, they just shove them in a train car and ship them out because they about to go work.
Yeah. Nobody was going to the same place. Like, what are you? Like, yada yada yada. Okay, you're going here. You're going to this transport. You're going to that transport. What do you mean? Like, don't worry about it. Get on the transport and kind of go. Right. Kind of splitting everybody up.
It just, I think it's a way of kind of even the way the last joint ended. There's no lawyers. You don't have a moment. You don't even really get to defend yourself, so to speak. Yeah. It's kind of they accused you, so you did it. And so this is your sentence. You know what I'm saying? And you're going. Like, it, you know what I mean? And then that, switch over from freedom to incarceration is so swift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it happens so fast that, I think what they're trying to convey in it is just how lost he is. What exactly has happened? Like, he's still in the open. He's still trying to tell Slim, I'm a tourist. Dog. Like,
I'm just a tourist.
He was like, what do you mean? Where is Narkanya? Like, I'm a tourist. No, Slim, you're a prisoner. You know what I mean?
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of that. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they want us to know that he's lost. We're not supposed to be lost, but we know we're supposed to understand that he's like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? And they do, I think, a great job of conveying how afraid he is. Like, I don't think we've ever seen Andor afraid.
Yeah.
Like we see him even after he shoots the two. Like there's a bit of a panic and kind of like I gotta get out of here. But he doesn't seem afraid. He's just kind of like, oh boy, ooh, okay.
I messed that up.
Yeah, like stepped into this time. I gotta go do some things and make some moves and shift some things around. But this was just kind of like there's no control. There's nobody to go to. There's nobody to help. You can't do anything. You're just a rat. Yeah, and I think it's supposed to be very putting slaves on a slave ship, putting Jews in a concentration camp kind of feel. That's
and I think that goes to like what's going on with the empire. Right now, like with everything that's happened, like all right, we're ramming stuff up. No jury, no nothing. Like you just said, he's saying he deterrence. No, you're in jail now. You go 6 years. We don't want to hear none of that. Go.
You besmirch the empire. It's just an immediate punishment. Like there is no in between. If you spill water on the empire's floor, you are going to jail.
And also, like we said, at the same time, we got Cyril, who's being taken in for questioning, and he's now sitting in front of what's her name, Deidre, that they have. She's questioning him about what's all this stuff that you keep submitting, and what do you know that's not in the record? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never saw the record. Like, I don't know what's in the record to say that. And do you think his redemption arc is about to start the way we see this going? Like, as far as trying to get back in with the good grace of everybody, you think he's gonna actually get there?
He gonna do something like, I don't know if he's gonna go full on good side, but I think because now the Empire is starting to interfere with him, trying to get to the redemption part, I think he's gonna end up doing something that is gonna put him on the bad side of the Empire. But clearly, like, dude is upset. Like, listen, I helped you. Like, I did all the right things in trying to get Andor caught. It's like, yeah, things didn't go the way that they should have, but it's like, I helped you, so what do I get in return? And her thing is like, don't put in another request, and we'd be good. Like,
I was a little confused. Did she get all that information from Sarah before they had the meeting, and she was laying everything out to everybody? It's Andor we're looking for. Here's his name, and he was there, and we're looking for this older gentleman that he was with. We believe his name was, I can't remember what they called him or whatever. I couldn't tell if she got that from Cyril before going into the meeting or not. Because when she came back, he seemed to still be going through the reports and all that stuff.
He was using his job to put in fake searches for Cassian Andor. He was putting in fake, like looking for this person here, like that, whatever.
At his cubicle job that he has now?
Yeah. So clearly they know who Cassian Andor is, and she's the only one who's really technically looking into it, because the other dude was like, let that joint go. We're not tripping off of it. But because she's so hell-bent on it, and now that she's been given control of what's happening on Ferrix, and she does have access to what records there are, she knows that they were looking for somebody named Cassian Andor, and he keeps putting in these fake inquiries into Cassian Andor as a this, that, and the third, and Cassian Andor or whatever, because he can't let it go that she's like, you clearly know something. What are you hiding? What are you doing? And I honestly think that she was initially of the mind that maybe he was in on it. That maybe he is tied to the rebels or something in some way, and maybe was helping or was doing something. That's what I initially thought. And then I think she gets as he starts to talk to her, and she's like, what's missing from what's not in the reports? What is it? Because you keep looking for this dude Cassian, right? You keep putting in fake reports and fake documents or whatever, looking for this dude. What is in the reports that we got that or what's not in there that you know? And he's like, I don't know. I never saw the reports. And she's like, you signed the reports. And he's like, I wasn't given a choice.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when it goes off her, and she's like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? And she steps out and she tells them,
let him read
get him the reports and let him read the reports, and I'll be back. And they're like, man, we supposed to be giving this presentation up here of all days, whatever. So I think there's a part of it that thought that maybe she was going to get some information out of him that she was going to be able to use to at this presentation she had to go to the higher ups. And he didn't know it. Like, she knows he knows something, but she doesn't have that information yet because it's not in the reports. She was expecting him to just be able to tell her, you know, or something like that, and he wasn't able to do that because he never saw the reports. So she makes them give him the report so he can look through them. And so yeah, when she comes back, he's still looking through it. And he's like, man, this joint is all kinds of wrong. Like, there's no, you know, they ain't say this. What about So I just think she either thought that maybe he was in on it in some way, and maybe was tied to it, or you know. But I think she ends up saying something to him that makes him recognize that, like, they don't really care. That you don't really care that two of your little officers got killed or whatever. Like, you don't really care about that. Like, that's not, they not Empire technically. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, but yeah. So no, she don't know. Like, you know, he keep putting in these inquiries, and that's why she was like, what you're doing has made the ISB interested in you. Like, we looking at you, Slim. We looking at you. You know what I mean? So you gonna stop putting these fake joints in. He like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing it. Basically, that's what I think. He like,
I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah, he tried to flip it. Like, yo, I was a really good officer. Like, I did this and I tracked down people all the way. I mean, yeah, a bunch of our people died, but still, I'm saying, like,
you disobeyed direct orders, but hey.
I don't necessarily think she's, you know, she didn't really disobey a direct order, but she's willing to go around the, you know, to do what she feels like is important to get. Yeah. But she inadvertently changed the chain, if you will, by you know, doing things the way she did it. But she wasn't, you know, there was a brief moment where it was like, okay, this is my man's in. He about to, you know, he about to slide into the Empire. And she was like, hey, Slim.
And she shut him down.
Shut that all the way down.
He like, he wanted to cry. He looked defeated.
He did.
Like, not getting in this jump.
Like, you stay here.
She was like,
yeah.
Oh, dog, you good? He was like, I was a good officer. Yeah. How about
you take your ass back to your
shut
cubicle.
That noise? How about you shut that noise?
You shut that down. You go back to your cubicle and you do what
yeah,
you're supposed
like,
to do.
Yeah, because you keep making noise like this, I'm not the one you're going to be speaking to.
Correct.
Yeah.
You lucky it's me right now.
Facts.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of tough. And I believe right after that, we go back to Cassian. He's now at the prison, the so-called prison, whatever, being processed, going in, and we're starting to learn what his sentence may be looking like, what he's going to be doing the whole time. And it's more like a factory prison instead of like a traditional, you know, you're locked behind bars, do your time.
This is the middle of an ocean, like somewhere that nobody's going to get to.
Yeah, it gave me vibes of what was the prison they had in Civil War.
Civil War, everybody to whatever it was.
Yeah, just that building down in the middle of the water, but it was like a bunch of them spread around like in a hexagon or whatever kind of symbol, far away enough from each other, whatever. I like the way that it looked. I like that it's not a traditional, you know, prison. So you're trying to, just like Cassian, as he's going through the factory and just listening and filling everything out. We're also at home putting together, okay, how do you get out of this situation? Like, what's the security measures, and how can you manipulate whatever you need to do to try to stage a breakout if you can, depending on it. That might have been the thing I liked the most about the episode, just the prison and how the prison works, and watching it, just trying to put two and two together of how he might escape this situation if it's indeed a breakout that they come to. How did y'all feel about the prison and the setup of it and all that type of stuff?
That joint was looking pretty airtight. Like when they first got there when they show all of them walking in, you know, the entrance door to the prison, getting off of the ship, you know, none of them had shoes on. So that like already off the rip, I'm like, okay, That's a little bit weird, I guess.
Well, they made them take their shoes off when they got on the train.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
So I was just thinking maybe they're gonna, take away what they had, give them some cheap whatever for it. But we get right off the break why that is. It's like they look, listen, y'all are gonna stay in line, and this won't have to happen. This will just be a memory. My man hits a button, and that joint like electrocutes all of the ones that they're bringing in. So clearly it's like, that's like the whole way through this place. Maybe other than like the hallways where they're kind of in between, any place that the prisoners mainly either work or if they're living environment, it's just a complete shock for. And clearly you can't just walk in certain areas without permission. You go to sleep in that joint, they shut that joint down. If you step out of your pod, it's wrapped. So that place is looking pretty airtight. I know my man Andor has gotten himself out of some sticky situations with some help. This is looking a little iffy right now for him. But the whole breaking down exactly, we see that it's pretty much, it's a work line, almost like you come in here, we're building these parts. I don't know specifically yet what it is they're building, obviously maybe for spaceship, whatever for it, but it's designed to be
parts or something.
It's designed to be a well-oiled machine. Like everybody in a sense are like they're fighting against each other. It's like everybody is doing essentially the same task, but it's like we need the efficiency in this place. Like each table's fighting with each other. We get Andy Serkis' character shows up, who pretty much runs his room.
He's the floor manager of their room.
But his job is really competing with the other rooms. So he said, hey, this room's one of the top like 3 performing rooms. And he told Andor, it's like, we're gonna keep it that way. So, get over at your station, watch what they do, and then jump in. So like, and everything is meticulously done in here. Like there's no time to stop, take a break, take a breather, do any of that. It's like, if you're not working, it's either you are going to the showers or I don't know which one. I don't know if you want to call that a shower. It's like a steam cleaning.
That was a group shower or whatever they call it. Yeah, that they had to go through.
We're either showering, you're either sleeping, and you have all your essentials that you need in your sleeping pod. Like it looks like there's no free time. You get no recess. You sleep, wash, eat, work, back to your pod.
Yeah, and depending on your performance, you get that tube. You might get some extra flavoring, or something like that to your tube, depending on how the performance y'all had that day. So if y'all ranking up. What about you, Gage?
It's interesting. I think obviously there's something important about what they're doing and where they're doing it. And how it relates to the search that's happening for Andor right now. I think what they're doing what they're doing is they're showing us where he is and what he's going through, and then they're showing, okay, there's right now 3 groups that are looking for Cassian Andor. Right? Empire's looking for Cassian, and they already have him. They just don't know they have him.
They don't know it yet.
Right?
That was crazy, yeah.
And really, the Empire is not, but she is, and she's Empire, right? So Deidre's looking for him, right? You have, which again, also I guess includes Cyril, right? So Cyril's looking for him. Deidre's looking for him by proxy. She ain't really looking for him, but she wants to know why his name keeps coming up, and she's trying to use him. She don't really want him. She's trying to use him to get to Luthen. She don't know that she's looking for Luthen yet, right? So you have these 2 folks on the Empire side who are looking for Luthen. Then you have these 2 rebel versions of the rebel camp. Looking for Andor, and then you have these 2 versions of the rebel camp that are also looking for Andor. So that's kind of what I think part of why I didn't really like this episode is because I get what they're doing, but there's just so much back and forth between what's going on. I was happy to get the information, but it just was a lot of switching back and forth, and so it like it centers on Andor and where he is and what's going on. And you see that Bix, you know, and what's his name are now looking for him because Marva is sick. She's not doing well. Now they're trying to find him to try to get him home because it's like she's not gonna make it. You know, when she's clearly become sort of delirious, some of the things that she's doing. So that them looking for him has caused an issue, which obviously happens later on. But then you also you know, have what's her name in Cinta also looking for Andor. And so you have like 4 sort of different pods of people, really only in 2 places, but like 4 different pods of people that are looking for Cassian. And Cassian like doesn't exist right now, right? Because he's given this fake name that just like, hey, so you got a fake name and you went to jail under that joint, dog. Like they don't care.
They didn't even check. Like they didn't even do like a background check to see if this name is real.
It's weird again, you know. We're talking about Star Wars, right, where everything is advanced, and then at the same time so far behind. You know what I mean? It's like having an advanced version of the 1940s, bro. It's really weird, but it you know that's what it is. There is no, they don't care either. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, I mean, they didn't bother to check to see if he actually did anything. They don't have cameras. They have they have hollow messages. They got internet.
But no security cameras.
No cameras.
It's funny when you think about it. I'm going back to just Star Wars stuff I've seen. Like, there's really been no security cameras.
No cameras, bro. Not that I can think. I mean, they just be radioing to each other, but like, can't nobody see what's going on. If you're not there, you can't see nothing. You know what I mean? So it's not like there's no video footage of Cassian running or doing anything. They just grabbed him up like you was with them, so you going to jail. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing. There's nobody watching them. The prison thing is kind of like, it's weird because I think at the end of the last episode, my expectation was like, oh, my man about to be locked up with some of the illest, most lethal, you know, whatever, and it's about to be grimy, and like he'll find a way out. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll be easy for somebody to break in and whatever. And they've sent him to this facility that seems impenetrable, right? Like you saying jokes, like there really ain't no way in it. And like they brag about it, like you're fortunate because you're in the cleanest facility. Like they don't really have fights. They don't have, because you know, I'm sure they do, but it's like,
why you gonna fight there? You gonna die.
And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, all right, how's my man gonna get out of here? And I came up with some ideas, right? I have some ideas on how.
Do you think it has anything to do with the guys sign languaging to each other when they were in those hallways?
So there's that. Clearly something is happening there. And I don't know if it's somebody's cheating or they stealing pieces or parts or something or whatever, right? But then also, so when they first get there and they drop them off and the ship flies away and they like, now, I bet you wondering how it is, why it is we standing here in front of y'all. We don't have no weapons. We don't have, you know, whatever, right? And then they showed them clearly why they can do it. But they made it very clear that it's because they're barefoot and these folks are not. And they are wearing something that prevents them from getting shocked. And I'm telling you, somebody getting their hands on some prison issue boots. Somebody getting some puss in boots. You know what I'm saying? It's there's no, you know, like that's, otherwise, bro, you're a rat. If you want to be able to move freely throughout
that place,
any of those spaces, because really, even it's kind of like step in this joint. You know, the other thing about it is they were so adamant about the timing, which I think is going to play into it. That whole thing where like he was being transferred and it's like, where's the other dude? He's supposed to be here, and they're like, like he had to go do something. What you mean he had to go? You know what I mean? Like if you're listening to it, it's like he had to go do something. You know what I mean? Somebody in that joint is up to something. You know what I mean? Somebody who's supposed, because they just, hey bro, if one of them's not up to something, again, we have an issue. Something's been thrown on the floor, you know what I mean, that we didn't get, because there's a plot thread there that has to do with the timing and how you guys are always supposed to be here in pairs. You're never supposed to be by yourself. You're both supposed to be here. Oh, he had to go take care of something on level whatever. And I don't know what level I can't remember what level Andor is on, but the dude who was sign language was talking to somebody who I think was on a different level.
Yeah, definitely.
He was okay. I thought he was on
You
the
know what
same
I'm
level,
saying?
but okay. Because I know they was panning, trying to show how deep
Yeah.
it was, all that kind of stuff.
That is a long way to be signing and being able to actually understand
It is. It's far. But that's why I was so like, like
Yeah.
they were throwing signs, bro. Like it wasn't. I mean,
Ain't
they
nobody
was really
paying
doing
attention
it.
to
Yeah,
this.
they look like referees out there, bro. It wasn't no subtle signs. My man was
No,
out of
personal
line.
foul.
You know, over by like, and that's the other thing. Anybody could have seen it. Everybody could have seen it.
I think they were
However,
all. I think they were all in on it. Like you said, the signing is so obvious. They're so aggressive with it that at least the people in their pod, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The prisoners might be in on what's going on.
Could be, but the other thing about it is that made me go, all right. There's no cameras and there's no security.
Well, they said that when they got there. Like once you come down this level, like there's no security. It's just Andy Serkis' character barking at everybody, telling them what to do. You know, in that
right.
pod.
But I'm just saying, like that's what I'm saying. There's no guards walking around making sure that things get done. There's nobody. You know, there's somebody above, like going, oh, y'all productivity low. Somebody getting shot today. You know, whatever. But like outside of that, like there's no. The sheer number of guards has to be hella low. Has to be.
Yeah,
which is like, again, that y'all supposed to be here together. It's not supposed to be and it's kind of like the kind of control y'all got. Again, he seemed afraid. Like we need to hold tight because they not ready, but we can't hold tight. We gotta do this. You know what I mean? And then dude shows up all late and black, you know what I'm saying? CP time. He showed up all late. My bad. I had something I had to go do or whatever. And they just kind of look at him and roll their eyes. But like,
Terry.
And you know, but it wasn't quite like that though. You know what I mean? It was like, where's your man? Your man's supposed to be here. Oh, yeah, he had something he had to do. Somebody's getting paid. Somebody's doing something. Bro.
Yeah.
There's something tricky that's happening that has to do with some of them guards, and they don't have like direct communication with those guards because the guards ain't even on the floor. They not down there with them at all. So it's something tricky about that. You know what I mean? And somebody about to get some boots. It's only 4 episodes left, bro. Somebody got to get some boots.
Do it.
Yeah, next episode, there's got to be the escape attempt. You know what I mean? Happen in the next episode or something.
Somebody has to come to clean up my man who suicided himself, or something has to give. Yeah. Well, I guess they was already past that. Something has to give somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying?
Like we're starting to get our more direct Rogue One connection pieces, like
Saw Gerrera
showing up. So definitely the pieces are starting to align. It's just whatever craziness is going to end up ensuing, and so I guess all of them at some point become a team or whatnot ever. So
I mean, again, the whole point is we have to force the Empire's hand so that we can force the Rebels' hands. That's what we have to make this push. We have to get this, we got to do the thing that makes the Empire act so heavy-handed that the people revolt. I mean, even them asking Andor when they're there, like, yo, you heard about the Incarceration Act, whatever? You're like, what are you talking about? They like, see, he don't know. Nobody cares. And he's like, nah, somebody got to know something you don't know. Like, they just started doubling people's sentences that are already there. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, bro? Like, y'all just...
And my man was trying to even warn Andor, like, look, don't look at the time, don't do this, don't do that. Like, they let you leave when they ready to let you leave. Like, don't even look at all that stuff.
You might as well not even...
Yeah.
Don't even pay it no mind, which, again, could be Andy Serkis' character who made it very clear, hey, dog, I got like 200 days.
Hey, you are not messing this up.
Right. Yeah. So the question is, though, like, okay, so clearly they didn't double his days. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, but like, he running a tight ship. Are they going to just be like, yeah, we can't just let Slim go because he just like keeping him
probably,
in check. So let's just add some time to his joint. Or they mess something up and his character ends up having to, you know what I mean, having to stay, or whatever it is. They could do any number of things. It's tricky, man. Like I don't. Right now, I'm blinded by what's happening. I don't know what direction they're going. But again, I know everybody's looking for Andor, so it's like now it's a matter. Like next episode for me has to be like, all right, well we found it. Like we figured it out. It's just a matter of who figures it out first and who figures out how they had to get that. You know what I'm saying? That they got to get them out of there. And the question is going to become for me is whether or not, okay, Deidre find out first and has to go to this, what might be a secret facility that even other people in the Empire don't know, so that she can get him, so that she can try to find out who Axis is, right? Who Luthen is, which he doesn't know.
Very true.
Right? Like, he met him, but he don't know nothing for real. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Cinta gonna find anything out first, because they done wrap that, taking them Bix and them to the hotel. Like,
yeah,
you shouldn't have sent that message, dog.
I wish we would elaborate with Cinta more, like, just as far as what was the point of her staying behind? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't
trying to
elaborate
find Andor.
Yeah, but like, I wish they would have like said that instead of just kind of like the whole point of leaving her behind. I know why she's here now. She's looking for Andor to, kill him.
Oh, why they left her on the other planet?
Yeah, like, what was the point of that?
Not on Ferrix, but on Aldhani.
Yeah, like why was she left behind there? You know what I mean?
It seems like it was part of the plan.
Left behind because that was just the way they had to do it, because she needed to be on the thing to watch, and they knew they was going to be on the ship having to leave. Like, I just think it was part of. I mean, it would have been nice to know how she got away.
Right.
Yeah. Just that's what I'm saying. Just something, just to, instead of her just showing up and you're like, oh, you got off the planet just fine after all that. Okay.
And hooked up with Short, and like, she been there long enough. Like, and you found where he was from. Like, how you even know that?
Yeah, like, just showed up.
But I can't remember whether or not in the first episode when Luthen showed up to Aldhani, if he told her where he found Cassian. He might have.
Okay.
He might have known he was going to Ferrix. That's possible. The other thing that's tricky about that, though, is since the Jai like came out of her mouth, like, I could be a rich girl running from her family or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember, I was telling you, I think that she might be Luthen's daughter or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. When I said that, I was like, okay, that's on par with kind of the angle we was looking at. Okay, not daughter, not said, but okay, you're kind of like an outsider-ish, if you will, like coming from money and all that type of stuff, and now you're fighting against them. So okay, that was a nice little jab for some information that she threw out there to us. That was pretty cool to have.
I also like her just being like, "Listen, Slim, I told you from the start, the fight always comes first. You only love me because you only love my froggy style, Slim. You ain't really here for." I'm told it. You only love me because I let you see what you want to see. You know what I mean? Like, you a rich girl who is trying to be down here in this or whatever. You ain't really come through none of what the rest of us came through, or whatever. So you only love me because I show you a mirror of what you want to be, because you know what I mean, because I what you want to see. That ain't, so like, it's cool. I acknowledge that you love me. She ain't say I love you back. She was like, you only love me for my froggy style. Like, you ain't really about this war. I'm about this war. You know what I mean? I'm about this fight. We about to, I'm for the cause. Don't come down here trying to sweet talk me.
Yeah, I'm about this life.
What about us? What about us? What about the fight? I said, Cinta might be my favorite character.
I'm trying to kill some Empire, some Imperial.
Hey, look, man. They said kill Andor. I'm about it. What's up? I came to slay me a guy. You know what I mean? And I slay everybody in this joint to get what I came for that. Straight up told you, hey, that's an apartment down the street. I thought when she said that, she was like, why don't we, move? She was like, what you mean, you trying to stay? What you gonna tell her? Where you gonna say you from? I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be in these window blinds. I mean, my God, who's there peeping in my window?
Hey, boy, eventually they gonna end up coming and saying, we need to check your papers. What you doing here?
Some tell me they want to ask into that question because she's gonna put somebody down. She has a lot of anger.
But another thing, and like I had seen this pop up a couple times I go scrolling through Twitter. Now I haven't watched Rogue One in some time now, so obviously remember some of the main characters, Saw Gerrera. Jyn Uso, like a couple of them. But a couple people were like, there was a name that was said while Andor was in the prison. There's like a quiet dude on his squad or somewhere that's down there. And apparently this is the person that led the team to rescue Jyn in Rogue One. And so I don't know, because I don't remember dude. I don't remember what he looks like. I don't know if it's the same guy playing the role or if they just uttered the name.
Jyn? Rescue her from where?
From in Rogue One when they first did it. They said that whoever that guy is
no. But rescue her from what in Rogue? Like at the end of Rogue One?
No, it was like at the I guess I don't know if it was built into the story, like that she was rescued from somewhere before everything, like I guess before the whole thing started or whatever. But they're saying whoever the person is named that was dropped is apparently that person from Rogue One. So.
Not somebody we saw, but somebody mentioned a name.
A name. Like they say that he's like a quiet person on the floor or something like that, but the name was uttered on there. I have to go back and listen again, because clearly whatever it was at the time, it wasn't relevant enough to really warrant and say that for it. But then after I read it, I was like, okay, that could also be another way that Andor is looking to get out of here, because this dude is either he's working with somebody obviously on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't know, man.
Clearly,
he didn't know
at
her.
that point. So now I'm not gonna go back and watch Rogue One just for that, but I'm at least gonna go back and watch the episode again, because if that name was dropped and obviously it was just subtly done, they probably were banking on most people either it just kind of just glowing right over top of their head, or for those that did catch it, caught it and it was like, okay, we have another connection here. So that wouldn't surprise me, of course, at all, with the subtle things they try to just drop in, and you pick up on some of these things to make those connections to. Obviously, we know everything's going to lead to Rogue One, but it's like those subtle connections between the Andor show and Rogue One.
Yeah. All right, and look, while all this is going on, Mon Mothma is having another gala party, fundraiser, whatever event, and working the room and all that kind of stuff. And she meets back up with her best friend. I can't remember his name from the last one, but they're talking about, what's going on with the money. Like there's regulations they put into place. I'm trying to work around it. Things are happening. She's stressing out. And I'm getting the vibe, as I'm pretty sure as y'all are, that her husband and daughter they have such a close eye on her and not believing the things she's saying. And I'm waiting for her daughter to blow the lid off this thing at any type of second during this thing. Just the vibe she's giving off. What about y'all?
It's gonna be the daughter. Like I feel bad, but
you're here again. You're here a lot now. Like, little girl, shut up and go in the room and go get on TikTok. Like, just get out here right now. You're not helping. You're not helping right now.
Don't have no cameras, bro.
I don't know what the TikTok or Star Wars would be like.
Obviously they can video record because they can send holo messages, so they TikTok probably holograms.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, she clearly, I don't know that she's talking to her father about it or whatever. I think the way it comes off to me is that she thinks her mother's cheating with this dude. That's the way it comes off to me. And that what I think is probably going to happen is that she's going to end up, she obviously has, or at least when they showed it, it seemed like she had a pretty good relationship with her father. And has some distrust or distaste for her mother. And this dude keeps coming around. He's here a lot. And so I have a feeling that maybe she's going to be spying and overhear a conversation between her mother and him or something like that, that tells her not that her mother is cheating, but that she's doing something that she's up to something, right? And then maybe she'll report that back to the father, or it could be that she flips and it's just like, here I thought you were got, whatever. And maybe she'll be like, oh, you really are trying to help people and you really are, whatever. but she also may not think. She may think that her father doesn't realize it, or something, and say something to him only for him to flip. Like maybe she says to her father, "Oh, mom is, she really is trying to help people. Her and are working on this secret, whatever." And he finds out and is like,
snitch.
Let me bring up a call to the Empire.
Yeah, like I mean, he obviously he cuts his eyes at her in some ways.
A lot.
Like,
yeah.
I Slim, I know, but we get filled in that basically like they've been married since they were like 15.
Yeah.
She became a senator when she was 15. They appear to be like an arranged marriage, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like they've known each other for a long time, but it seems like somebody else decided y'all are supposed to love each other. So, in some manner, it might have always been like that between them. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like they were just going with what the tradition is. She said it was tradition for their people. Whatever, for her to get married at 15 and for her to be a senator so early. I don't really understand that, but obviously there's something else that happens there.
Question: do you think some of his like how he cuts his eyes and everything, like we see that he thinks something might be going on, what I'm saying, like her political standings and everything? Do you think he wants to reel that in or curve that to keep their like kind of status and what they have going on and all that kind of stuff? Like, don't ruin this for us because you want to help the people beneath us type of deal or whatever.
It's weird because I don't know what he does. I don't know what his position is.
He just seems like he's got connections, but other than the connections that he has with,
I mean, obviously his connections could just be monetary, right? But it also could be connections through her because again, she's the senator, he's not. But if you remember in the first episode where we meet him, she's mad at him because there's a party that he's put together that's going to have these people that she's like, I don't like these people. Why would you do that? Right? So either they have worked together in the past in a way where like he would do that. He's like, it's on your calendar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But there's also a part of me that feels like some of what he's doing maybe isn't, or at least wasn't politically based, but could just be that she's off doing so much sneaking around and she's up to so much tomfoolery that he thinks she's cheating. You know what I'm saying? That he might just think she, the limo driver is a plant because he trying to see where is you going? You know what I mean? Who are you sneaking off to see? Where have you been? How come you so caught up in whatever's going on? Like you're not caught up with actual Senate work all the time that you're, whatever. And when she's going to see Luthen, it's always under the guise that she's going to get him a gift. Right? That we've seen.
Yeah.
So but that is a thing that is supposed to be for the driver's benefit, right? The drivers, I'm trying to get a gift for my husband, whatever. We don't know it, but we ain't never seen her give him a gift. And the last time she came back with the same joint, like, he ain't like it, whatever.
Yeah.
The driver may not be any the wiser as far as that's concerned, but again, it allows her to kind of gallivant off and talk, and clearly, again, Luthen's up to stuff that she don't know about. So it's weird. I'm not positive. I've gotten the vibe that maybe he likes or has political thoughts that are different from what hers are. And maybe wants to be.
I was gonna say that's where I was at. I just until you brought up the whole cheating type of thing, like okay. Now I'm looking at it like adding that in and saying, okay, I can see that as well. So
yeah. I mean, the daughter. Again, the first thing she says is like, "Wow, you don't know, you ain't never around," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now there's maybe a face to put to it, so maybe she's felt like her mother has been off, whatever, and now there's gallivanting. And it does so happen now it's not Luthen. Like it would have been, I guess, Luthen, but now that this dude is around, it's like, oh, this must be him. You hear a lot, you know. And she rude anyway, little trifling. I slapped the shit Woo, boy.
I was waiting for that.
Like, you hear a lot. And you drinking squigs? Hey, my little, hey, listen, Slim. Why you so worried about what grown folks are doing right now?
Don't question me.
Yeah. But her mother don't even, she like, I don't even really like these. Yeah, it's just all politics. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He might not be politically motivated. He might just be, feeling like there's some scheming, whatever. They have money and they're well off. With them talking about, look at your view. Y'all don't spend anywhere near. She's good at that too. She was pulling a little bit of Luthen this go around. Y'all so right. We were just talking about that. Like, I promise I'm gonna spend more time looking out this window. I think that's foreshadowing something too. I think it's gonna be something popping outside that window.
An explosion at a building or something.
Somebody gonna get thrown out that window.
I think gallivanting around Coruscant. Yeah. So I think I can't tell now whether or not what he's up to is politically motivated or if he just straight up is like, man, she out here swinging. Can't tell.
All right, so let's get into Bix and her predicament. Like you stated earlier, Andor's mother is kind of losing it. Looks like she's getting ready to pass away. So Bix decides to go back to her contact in town. Look, let me go back. Use the antenna. Let me try to make this call. He's reluctant to do it because of the Imperial surroundings and what's going on, but he allows her to do it anyway. She tries, and Luthen and his assistant, I forget her name, but they have their conversation of, are you losing it? I think you're too close or whatever to some people. We need to shut this down. And they have their argument with it. Finally, they come to, you're right, go ahead and do it. They shut it down, but unfortunately, it seems like the Empire has already caught wind of the signal or the call that was sent out, and they've roped up her contact, and now they've gone and roped her up. Once I saw her getting on the antenna trying to make the call, I'm like, this is just a terrible idea. Like, they're so swamped around here. This is not going to end good. Of course they didn't. How do y'all feel about all that?
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad idea from jump. It's like, I know she's trying to find my man, but it's like with the Imperial, clearly they are not playing, and it's like they're looking for folks to just step out of line, just at the ever so slight thing that it could possibly be. Something as simple as maybe she thought that communication was really masked the right way. It's like it's going through an antenna, it's going through whatever signals. It's gonna get intercepted. Like, this thing doesn't look like it has the capability of being like, oh, this is an encrypted channel that we are sending things out on. Nobody can. I feel like if it was, that would have been something that would have been said, or at least acknowledged that, hey, listen, this is like the perfect machine that you can use to contact somebody without being detected or anything like that. But clearly not the case. And whatever.
Well, I mean, I think they basically said in one of the early episodes that they're using like an Imperial channel of some sort, but it's like a joint that like they don't care about or they don't pay attention to, or something like that. But clearly and to be honest, if Dude was still in charge, they might not have
noticed it. They wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
But with Deidre in charge,
she wants to know everything that goes off planet or whatever.
The busybody.
Every communication, yeah.
She a nosy so-and-so and a busybody. I mean, I don't fault her for feeling like we need to try to contact him because Marva's, this is it. Like, you need to come, see about her. I guess it remains to be seen. Look, they pulled what's his name out, the owner of the shop or whatever. They yanked him out the night before.
Yeah.
But he don't know nothing. like at most he could probably say where the radio is, but as far as I know, he don't know who she's actually contacting. He doesn't know, he knows what she's using it for, I guess, but like he may don't know who to contact. This is what I don't understand. Maybe they tortured him enough to get a description or whatever, but like to me, clearly they didn't. Like, I don't think he snitched, and I don't understand why they're looking for her.
I would think it's just because she, like, if he didn't snitch, somehow they know that she used it to make the call and
But how?
to call. And look, I don't know until next episode.
Or
I mean, because look, if somehow they're able to decode what she's tapping, and maybe she's saying this is Bix Kayleen, and I'm looking for Slim. Look, it's almost like he had a picture of her. He looked.
Yeah. And we've established they have no cameras.
Right. You Bix Kayleen. How do you know that?
Yeah, that looks like you. It's like, what?
Yeah, she looked through all of them.
I'm gonna tell you, that's one of my issues with this episode, is that we get all the way to the end, and kind of out of nowhere, my man's like, everybody get back. And then all of a sudden, they look. Now, hey dog, if you have a picture of her, if he snitched, they know where she is, they know where she lives, and they know exactly where to go to get her. They know what she looks like, right? So if he snitched, they have all the information they need. It ain't no going to find her, or we can't find her, whatever. They're not looking for her. They not.
Yeah.
There's nothing active happening, right? Because she just wanders into town like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. She left her home.
And he looked straight up and looked right at her too.
It was like,
you.
Yeah, you. Like, it's a crowd of people. You look dead at her when you looked up.
It's a little tricky. I don't. Maybe they'll tell us something in the next joint, but I do have questions about, okay, where did they get her name from? Why do they know who she is? She wasn't ever detained when they first came there. You know what I mean? When she was trying to go and warn Andor, like, they don't know nothing about her, whatever. They know the other dude got killed trying to help her, but that's it. Yeah. Like, they don't know anything about her. So I'm confused about where they got whatever information they have, and I don't feel like it could have come from him unless he had literally just, you know what I'm saying? They literally just broke him in.
I don't think so, because if I'm not crazy, right before they brought her into the room, when he was, in the chair, Deidre was just like, she was like, she shouldn't see him. One of them was like, she shouldn't see him, but keep him there. And then the moment they were bringing her through the door, then it was like, get him out of here.
Said, they were like, should we take him out or something? And she was like, no, I want her to see him. Okay, and then when she walks in, she flips and fakes. Like, get him out of here, whatever, right?
Thing, yeah.
And I thought
as if to try to be nice to her, pretend to be nice to her. Like, why did you let him? She shouldn't see this. Oh, your poor eyes, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I think she also needed to make sure that there was a connection, that they had the right person. Like, I need to see her reaction to him being hurt, to him, which again makes sense, but doesn't really make sense. It's a small town; everybody knows everybody. Yeah. Right? But again, she comes out in reaction to the fact that they're ringing the alarm. They having a go-go band and they cowbelling, bing, ging, 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 ging. Like, they playing the bell. So she's coming out like, what's going on? What's happening? Hey, Slim, if they're looking for you and they have your picture and they know you on Ferrex, one, it ain't but so many doors to knock on. And two, they ought to know where you are, right? You don't just, like, you run a shop in town and you live in town. You know what I mean? So, like, if he snitched, we on our way to her door. Like, these mammals came from outer space and went straight to Marva's door with a warrant. You telling me you got her picture and you in town and y'all didn't go to her house?
Y'all stayed at the hotel. Y'all occupied the hotel in town for your home base.
You see her every day. And what are you talking about? These, they got him in the little hotel area. This is happening at the shop where she went and sent the signal from.
Yeah.
How do they not? You didn't leave the shop and go. It doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. I hate it. It's stupid. And somebody made a mistake when they wrote how it is that they were gonna.
Nah, you gotta say it the right way.
We gotta get her. We gotta.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Cinta maybe is going to end up having to help or save her or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's dumb.
There we go.
It's dumb.
We got that.
That's dumb. You know what I mean?
All right.
Something on the cutting room floor. Something got to give.
Very true. But before we close out this episode, is there anything else on the chopping block that I did not think of that we need to discuss with this episode?
I think you hit all the nails on the head.
One thing I will say I did enjoy, it was towards the end, it was Lucian and I can't think of the guy from Rogue One's name. What is his character? I'm terrible with names.
Oh, Saul Guerrero.
Yeah, but like just that banter of theirs, like said, like, yeah, I heard you pulled off a little job. Like, nah, I thought that was
wasn't
you.
me. I thought that was you.
I thought that was you. Like that little banter going back and forth. That was pretty entertaining. I thought that was kind of cool.
I'm interested in seeing how that plays out.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't know who to blame. If between the two of them, they could be like, that look like some of your work. No, dog.
That's all
that
you,
look like
bud.
some of your
That's
work.
all you, man.
You know what I mean? And nobody wanted to own up to it, but them saying like, yo, I got somebody, I got a job we could do. I got a little something to trade, but I need you to work with so-and-so. He's a separatist. We don't work with separatists. What are you talking about? We don't like. My man was just like.
He was like.
He wasn't having it.
Nah.
It's like your work, Luthen. Luthen like. I thought it was your work. Grandma Saul's like. No. I said okay. Hey, Saul Guerrero crazy, bro.
Oh yes.
He crazy.
Yes, we heard that.
It was a part of it that was like, hey, Luther might not live through this joint. Some might just be like,
I don't think he is. I don't think so.
I'll take.
Like I said, we know some Rogue One. Saul's crazy.
I do, yeah, but still, bro, it was just kind of like, I'll take your parts. Like, give me the joints, bro, because I'm not working with Slim. I'm not doing it. Yeah. But again, that's part of the problem, right? Like, what Luther is trying to do is trying to get the rebellion to be more cohesive.
Yeah.
He's trying to push the Empire to a point that it will force
everybody,
the separatists,
all these
the Rebel
pockets,
Alliance, the guerrillas
to come together,
to have to work with each other.
Yeah,
and they may. To me, the fact that he's asking Saul to do it in order to trade, and Saul is saying no, means that the next step for Luthen is to do something that's going to force him to work with him.
Yeah, that sounds like
Luthen seemed to always have something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like Luthen's like, I'm here and I'm asking, and if you're not gonna do it, okay,
then I'm gonna go with the next step.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. You're not getting these parts. I gotta, because we also still don't know what the actual big plan is, right? Whatever it is that. It's hard to see what it is that Deidre thinks she's seeing. Her whole thing, the time she spends in this room saying, we have definitive proof that these people are taking these items and they're doing this, and we believe it's in it. And for real, dude is kind of like not even really paying her no mind. He like, continue, I'm listening. Right? And he's looking, and he goes through this list and like, this is a list of things that she wants them to give her so that she can continue to investigate. And he's like, you know how expensive this is? It's the other dude who John can't put her up to it because he's looking for his comeuppance too.
Yeah, I did like he backed her up after everything. I did like that. Yeah,
me too. I was about that when he did that. I was like, all right. I mean, I don't like none of y'all Empire, but all right. You know what I mean? He's like, what I've seen and da da da, and then for him to basically be, she's like, what I'm asking you is a fraction of what it is we lost already, or what we're going to continue to lose. And him being like, what we haven't figured out yet is probably way more costly. Whatever it is that she sees that it looks like it's being put together, we would think is something that is specific to what Luthen is doing and what Luthen has been doing. And Luther's been working for months on just this one thing we see Andor doing. We have no idea how many other teams he has on other planets doing other things, but we know that there was stuff that went missing from her sector in space, where she only had 2 planets or 2 galaxies or whatever to watch. And this dude has 6. And now she's got one of his 6, so she's upgraded to 3. He's downgraded to 5.
And we know how Luther maneuvers around, considering he has a shop. He sells antiquities and all that kind of stuff. So he gets around and gets things.
You can see the antiquities. They come from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, got Star Killer armor in that.
I don't know where
trip
bro. Did you make to get that?
Yeah. So like, but it also seems that, you know, are some of these things that Saul and his people did that are something cohesive, or no? Is this all stuff that Luthen is doing that she's tracking? And when she's like, there's something much bigger out here that's happening and we have no idea, you don't realize what they're actually doing or what they're putting into motion. Because when you look at where Luthen is, it doesn't seem like any of that's happening, especially not by the conversation he just had with Saul. Right. You still have these 4 or 5 factions of rebels that exist. And Saul's like, I ain't even working with them. They not even, I don't bang with them. I don't even bang with you, Luthen. But you show up with stuff that I'm willing to trade for, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I don't bang with you. You lucky I let you walk in this joint.
Mm-hmm. You see that sniper outside? Oh, I done took you out a while ago.
Right, and Luthen knows. You know what I mean? And clearly Luthen has been able to upgrade his own ship that far. Like he talks about, he's like, man, I let Andor on the ship though. You know what I mean? Like he knows stuff. Like he got Slim might have to go. I didn't tie this up right. How many other Cassians are there somewhere? And also, we still don't know what it is he already knew about Cassian. Why does he know what he knows about Cassian and Cassian's family or whatever? Why has he done this research? Why did he target him specifically? How does he know what he's been up to? Other than the fact that, again, if Cassian has been so successful in doing what he's done, right? You just walk in there like you wanted him. They don't even care. So clearly Cassian's done it before. Luthen is interested in him because he's the kind of person that has done it and can do it. But it also means in some manner, Luthen's been able to track what Cassian was doing.
Yeah. Somehow.
Right? Like he's on him somehow already. And it's like, well, man, I found you before the Empire did.
Facts.
How?
It's one of those questions that hopefully we'll get answered in the next 4 episodes or so.
Nah.
Guess we'll see.
I
guess we'll see.
Or that'll be witness protection.
That is our witness protection.
You know, who knows? So
it's dumb.
So before we wrap this up, where are our grades at as of now? Jokes.
No change. 7 is
no change.
Where I'm at.
Still a 7. Gage.
It's a 7.
Still a 7, and I am still at a 6. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. For you all, that is our spoiler boys for episode 8 of Andor. Y'all know what it is. Y'all will see us next week, same time for episode 9. Stay tuned and look forward to it. We can't wait to bring that to y'all. So until then, catch you later. Deuces.
Loading snacks.